Just like last week's episode, this book is pure erotica.
It's
I
the
enjoyed that
start
part.
of something.
If you are really thankful, what do? You share.
Why is this too hard? Men.
What a better way to give you a pre-Thanksgiving treat than to stuff your ears with people stuffing each other.
Keep it smutty.
I wanted to vomit the entire time. Sup, brah?
Today's been a day and a fucking half.
Yeah, well.
I'm so fucking hungry. I didn't even make it to fucking the first bell before I fucking fell on the stairs and my drink went fucking everywhere. Because I didn't have time to eat cereal this morning, so I just had my protein shake.
Wild.
Yeah.
A 17-year-old punched a 70-year-old today.
70 or 7?
Mm-hmm. A 17-year-old punched a 70-year-old.
Why?
A Florida Trump supporter, 17, punched a 70-year-old at a Harris.
Of course.
They were
And
literally just standing
we're
there.
the problem.
I know, right? You get to get up early tomorrow and go vote tomorrow.
I do not, because my polls don't open till 10 o'clock.
Mine open at 7.
Yeah, I wish.
Crazy. Oh, so there are no trigger warnings this week, and we didn't really need any this week that I feel, except for
Like traffic.
I am disappointed. Do you want to know why I'm disappointed?
They all didn't all go at the same time.
I thought I was going to need my dolls,
I know.
and I did not need my dolls.
I second that. I was also disappointed.
Yes.
No.
So everybody, I need you to understand that there were things in this book that did not happen, that I'm disappointed did not happen. And just like last week's episode, this book is pure erotica. But here's the thing with that. It was labeled that.
Yeah, but it also like flows
but it had a
into
little story. It had a little story.
Flows into other books to create like a sequence of books.
Mm-hmm. So, yes.
It's
I
the
enjoyed
start
that part.
of something.
Yeah. And I thought that the dedication was very lovely because it says, if you are really thankful, what do? You share. And really and truly, that is the theme of this book. That sharing is caring. And we learned that growing up, that sharing is caring.
Would you like to share what we're reading this week?
Of course.
Since you're caring so much.
Yeah, we are reading Stuffed by somebody.
Oh my good Lord.
Give me a second. Hold on. No. It's fine. We are reading Stuffed by Hannah Murray. I got this.
Well,
this week, we are reading Stuffed by Hannah Murray. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch, okay? I can redo it, all right? God. And what a better way to give you a pre-Thanksgiving treat than to stuff your ears with people stuffing each other.
As I stuff my face.
Yes. These people also stuff their face.
Some of them. More than others.
And this is probably going to be a very quick episode. I'm just going to point out.
That's what Thanksgiving's all about.
Stuffing yourself until you're full. So sorry. Esme Parrish, and not Esme as in Twilight, because this is not Twilight as Ariel tried to bring it in last week.
Renesmee
is snuggled up into her husband's side, and she is pleasantly buzzed on some wine that they had with dinner. They were having a little date night. She had started falling asleep, and while she was asleep, her husband had put on Star Wars. She insists
rookie move
that they had said if she fell asleep during the movie, he could wake her up with sex. Instead, he is going to feed her, which is very sweet.
They had one rule, not to put on Star Wars if she fell asleep. He could even wake her up the naughty way, but there's no Star Wars. Why is this too hard? Men.
So they start watching Moonstruck and just enjoy being together. Work had been so busy for them lately, but tonight was really the first time in a week that they had managed to actually have a meal together. Asks Esme if she had spoken to her mom, and she says that her mom had texted that their connecting flight into New York was delayed, but they had made it safely. Her parents decided to spend Thanksgiving in Paris, while Tuck is not complaining. He was just a little surprised that they wanted to spend it in Paris because, you know,
Paris.
it's Paris. I love that song so much. Tuck also just does not want to have to watch football with her dad this year. Esme says that, her Aunt Jane invited them for dinner and it's only a 3.5 hour drive. She's joking, by the way, because he was like, are you kidding me? Which, but thank God she was joking. Tuck asks her what she wants to do then, and Esme has no idea. But maybe it would just be fun to have their own Thanksgiving. Maybe just invite half a dozen people tops over and you know, see and
Where the
see
day takes them.
see where it takes them, because so this would be like their first Thanksgiving that they're actually able to spend with people, because in this book this is
And that they
post COVID.
host.
Yes, because this is post COVID. and
Newly post
unlike
COVID.
and unlike the review, I did not feel that there was an aggressive amount of masks involved.
Okay, listen. I have to say, it might
There
have
was a
just
lot of
been,
COVID talk, but
there might have been because we had read that review first,
fresh in your mind.
because it was like right there, right? So every single time they brought it up, I was like, okay. And then I was like, this is like getting a little extra. Do they have to talk about how the mask is on their face every single time? Like it just seemed excessive. I got it. And I think it was
But
only
if
because we
this
had read that review.
it probably was. So I
It
skipped
wasn't
over
bad for
all of
me necessarily. It just,
it
I was
didn't
like,
it
oh, good
didn't bother
Lord.
me at all. It honestly reminded me of the time of when we were going
And
through
maybe
that
that's why I was so
post-COVID world.
irritated because I was like, good fucking Lord. Can I
I
just
just
have
remember
one or the other? Can I just either be in lockdown and have masks or just never or pretend it never happened?
you're so fucking funny.
I
But
like
most
staying
of
home
most
and
of their
wearing
friends are
masks.
spending the holiday with family or significant others, so this should really kind of narrow down the pool of who can come. So they're going to figure out who does not have plans. Tuck says that Jude is going to be in town, and if she's okay with him coming, Esme's like, why wouldn't I be? And Tuck's like, well, the last time we saw him, he was balls deep inside of you. And Esme's like, well, you were balls deep inside of my throat at the time. So I was like, okay, we're gonna start right
Way to
there. And
bring it,
and
buddy.
and she's like, and they've hung out plenty of times away from the club, so it was a swingers club. And
In the club, we all fam.
bro, stop. No. I'm just gonna let you sit with that for a second. Do you feel shame?
Yeah, a little bit.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Dude,
Oh God.
I don't know if I shared this with you, but I saw this TikTok that compared the Trump family to the Baratheons,
Oh my
and I
God.
can't unsee it now.
That's so
So no, it was
funny.
the Lannisters,
That
and
makes sense.
the Lannisters, and I can't unsee it now. And it was so funny. It was like Trump Jr. as Joffrey and
That's
freaking
so funny.
Melania as the whatever the fuck her name is. God, it's been so long since I've watched that.
Yeah, I know, I
And
got you.
yeah,
So funny. But and Jude's never been weird about it before. Basically, so these two people used to go to a swingers club a lot. Tuck says, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind double teaming you again sometime, but I think we can probably make it through one dinner without spit roasting you. So they come together with a list.
see,
They're going to invite Evan and Colin because anywhere Evan goes, Colin follows, and they kind of hope that maybe someday these two will just stop dancing around each other and actually get together. Obviously,
get
Jude is on this
together.
list. Jude is on this list. And then they're thinking about inviting their friend Spencer, but only if he's not still dating that
I
lawyer,
thought it
because
was just Spence.
it is Spencer, but they call him
Is
Spence a
it
lot.
Spencer? Okay, I didn't
Yes.
know that it was a
Yeah.
whole.
They call him Spence a lot, but it is
They must have
Spencer.
called him Spencer one time then.
They call him Spencer a couple of times, but they call him Spence a lot. But only if he's not dating that lawyer lady, because she was very rude and whatever. After they make this plan of who they're going to contact, Tuck asks where they were. Esme says they were watching the movie, of course. Tuck says, We were until you reminded me about spit roasting you with Jude at the Swingers Club. And according to the website, that club is back open. Esme then just says, "Oh, my mind just wandered into Fantasyland for a second." And Tuck really wants her to tell him about this fantasy. Her fantasy is that she wants a harmless little Thanksgiving gangbang. Tuck is completely down for this because he knows that a gangbang has been on her list for a while. And you know what better way to cross it off than at Thanksgiving? And just imagine how hot it would be with the
I mean, we
five
say
of
that
them.
too, because that's why we say, stuffed November. Because, I mean, so naturally.
Yeah, Ariel, you really want a Thanksgiving gangbang?
I meant for like our books.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
So,
Hey, I mean, you know.
you know. But of course, they do need to kind of talk it out and figure out how it's going to work and what's not going to work. Then, because of this conversation, they get really turned on, and he tells her to open her mouth, and then he kisses her. Then he goes down on her and eats her out like it's his job. And then, as he's doing this, he's fucking her with his fingers. Then he also, slips a thumb into her ass. And after she comes, he stands up and comes all over her. Of course, he was a little disappointed because he really did want to fuck her tits, but she was just so hot that he could not wait. Then they fuck again. Guys, I'm just going to tell you, there is a lot of fucking in this book. There's also a lot of comments about her bush, but I don't really feel like talking about that.
Her
I don't.
COVID bush is something of pride for her husband,
I know he wants everyone to come on her bush, okay?
especially when she decorates it like a Christmas tree.
So, Esme's at work. She is a tattoo artist, by the way. But she's on the phone as he's
With
getting
your
ready to go.
girlfriend, she's upset. She's going off about something that she said.
So, Esme is at work. By the way, she's a tattoo artist. But, anyways, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But just know she's at work. And she's on the phone. Do 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 do. And we're talking to Tuck. And he's getting ready. He's going grocery shop. He needs to go grocery shopping for Thanksgiving. And he tells her, "Yo, talk to Spencer. He dumped that girlfriend." So he is good to go. And he can come to this Thanksgiving. She, of course, super fucking thrilled about this. And actually tells him, "Hey, so like my next client isn't for another hour." And asks if he wants to go over for a quickie. He reminds her that he has grocery shopping to do. But then she ends up getting a walk in, so that can't happen. Fast forward to Sunday morning, Tuck gets out of bed early because he is going to meet up at the coffee shop with all of the boys so that they can have this conversation about what they plan to do for Thanksgiving, which honestly is such a fucking wild place to have a conversation about banging your goddamn wife. He went over the plan with himself that him and Esme had come up with as he walks, and he is really wondering how his friends are going to react to it once they all sit down together. He explains, you guys are still good to take a COVID test. They are. But he also wants them to take another kind of test, one for STIs.
Oh, yeah,
Dun-dun-dun.
baby.
Evan asks, what the hell kind of Thanksgiving is he planning? Which is a solid question. And Jude
Yep.
says, the kind where we all get to fuck his wife. Colin is the first to speak and says, are you kidding?
Mhm.
Tuck says he is not kidding. Evan is like, holy shit. And Tux explains that a couple years ago they started going to a swingers club and he has a kink about showing off his wife. Not a cuckold, but it's similar. So Evan says, let me get this straight. You want us to get an STI test so that we can fuck your wife on Thanksgiving. And he's like, yeah.
Pretty
Colin
much.
asks what the rules would be. And Tuck says, we do have rules. And he lays
Have
out
a
the
seat.
guidelines.
Let me explain.
Yeah. Lays out the guidelines, which he would allow his friends to fuck his wife. So that's great. Also, again, what a wild place to have this conversation in a
Come to
coffee
this
shop.
coffee shop. Yeah.
Finally, it's Thanksgiving. And Esme is asking Tuck from the bedroom, what time did you tell them to be here again? And he tells her 2 p.m. Though Evan is coming early because he is going to come with the fryer because they're going to deep fry the
He's gonna
turkey.
come.
She asks how long it's going to take to do the turkey. And he says, according to the internet, 3 to 4 minutes per pound. So, like an hour. Esme tells him that, by the way, I took the duvet off the bed and put it in the closet in case things get messy. That way, we only have to change the sheets. And they're just trying to think of what else they need to do, which isn't really much. Basically, their entire plan is to eat dinner and then commence the fucking. Esme also tells Tuck that she is fucking him last today. Everybody else gets laid before him. Tuck says that that was his plan. Evan shows up around noon so that they can start to prepare the turkey. Evan pulls out his test results, and Tuck's like, "You could have just emailed them to me." And Evan says, "Sure, but then we wouldn't have this manly bonding moment." He goes, "I'm sorry, manly bonding moment?" But Tuck calls him out and says that, like, you're nervous. Turns out he's not really nervous about Tuck and Esme, but he's nervous about keeping his feelings under wraps with Colin. Tuck says, "Dude, you can't be like that fucking clueless. Like, Colin is in love with you. Like, he's been in love with you since college."
He's
Evan's
in
like,
love with Evan.
Evan's like, "Shit, what do I do?" Tuck says, "Do you want my advice? Don't let any more time go by." So it's cool we get like this little
Time.
side story of two men who are just in love with each other, but they're gonna also fuck this woman first.
They're the next book.
I know they are.
I've already downloaded it. I'm curious.
I mean, I'm after their moment.
I wish it was
So
more of
yeah,
a moment, but yeah.
I know. Esme is dressed up like a goddamn pinup girl and is really setting the mood of making everybody in this household horny. That is her job. An hour later, everybody except for Spence has arrived, but he texted saying he was just on his way, so they decided to get things going. Evan and Tuck are outside monitoring the turkey. Jude and Colin are playing a game of chess in the living room, and everyone is just basically trying to act normal as if the shit is not gonna go down. Spence does arrive, but he's outside talking to Tuck, and Esme thinks that it looks like their conversation is a little edgy, but realistically, these two men are just talking about sex and the fact that Spence is into BDSM and trying to figure out how he can work that into what they're going to do later on. And that he had in mind, some hair pulling, ass smacking, begging, name calling. Of course, Tuck is like, "What kind of names?" Spence is like, "Nothing degrading, like slut, cum dumpster, three-hole whore." I'm like, "Bro, okay." The usual. Tuck's like, "Well, as long as it's nothing degrading." And Spence like, admittedly, my perspective might be a little bit skewed. Tuck says, "You know what? I'm just busting your balls. Slut and cum dumpster are fine, but leave off the whore since you're not paying her." But yeah, it's literally just them discussing basically the main event later on. So they all sit down, they eat. Afterwards, they are so full and they realize that maybe they have made a
They
bit of a mistake. Of course,
probably thoughts about that.
yeah, you should not eat before you fuck. Group sex 101 is to fuck first, then eat last. So they're going to play bananagrams while they relax, but it's going to be dirty bananagram, and the winner gets to go first. You just build words just like you would in Scrabble, and then when you run out of tile, blah 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 blah. Bananagrams. I've never played. I don't even really like Scrabble that much, so like it's
Yeah.
not really like my cup of tea. You have to be able to make sure that everything is spelled correctly and that they are actual words. Tuck and Esme are not actually playing though because Tuck has to fuck her last and Esme is the one getting fucked, so they're just going to watch these men play. They also start making out and basically giving them like a show as foreplay and turning everybody on as they're playing. Evan shouts out bananas, but he ends up not actually winning because he spelled coitus wrong. And Jude ends up being the one who wins. Tuck
She's
reminds
like,
him,
what the heck? Because she just wants somebody to win quickly so she can get the show on the road.
yes. Tuck reminds him that Esme is in charge. If she doesn't want it to happen, it does not happen. And since everyone got tested, no one has to wear a condom for oral or vaginal sex, but anal sex, you have to use a condom. If you want to use one, you can, you just don't have to for the oral and stuff. But anal, abso-fucking-lutely. So Jude and Esme head upstairs and blah, blah, blah. Everyone downstairs starts hearing like squealing going on, and they're like, "The fuck is going on?" And they're like, "Let's fucking go find out." And they're like, "Last one upstairs goes last." Tuck's just like, "Whatever, I'm fucking going last anyway, so I'm just gonna mosey on my way up." They all watch as Jude takes his turn with Esme, and Tuck just sits in the leather chair in the corner watching. Jude eats her out, then he fucks her, and then he comes inside of her. But he does tell her, as he's fucking her, that he has never done this without a condom before because, of course, all of the men are like this is the hottest thing I have ever seen. Also, we learned she has a hood piercing, and the best way to get her to come is to gently tug it. So he does that. After they're done, Esme just kind of laughs and thinks that she should have just put down a rubber sheet, which probably would have been the smartest decision with these people. If you're gonna have 5 people coming, probably should have put down a rubber sheet. Then asks who's next.
Tarp.
Evan
something.
stand up. Evan stands up. Is like, I'm next. Like, this is me. Of course, this man, he's Russian. He's like, I need to go. They tell him slow down a little bit, but he says he is not sure how much longer he can keep from coming in his shorts. Han also wants to go next, so Esme decides to tease them a little bit and then decides that they are both going to be next and make sure that they don't mind sharing. They don't. Esme is a little surprised because Colin has a piercing. It's just a small little piercing. It's just I don't remember the exact name of it. It's not the Prince Albert, but it's just the little one. It has a long name that I just don't remember.
It's the happy Dravar thing or something.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a smiley face. But she is curious how it feels. She lovingly calls it Steve, by the way, which is right. She calls it Steve. Okay, you like had a face and was like, She decides to blow Colin while he is standing, and he just keeps insisting. He's like, I would really like to sit down, which was so funny because he's having a hard time because he's like ready to fall down just from the literal touch of her. Instead, she has Evan stand behind him to hold him up and let him lean against him. Spence just whispers to Tuck that this is like literally the strangest matchmaking attempt he has ever seen. And it is, but honestly, it's a little adorable because like Esme knows what she's doing. And when Colin almost falls, Evan's like, I got you, babe, which is so fucking interesting in this dynamic right now. And then that happens, and then they're just gonna switch to Colin fucking her missionary, but she's also going to blow Evan as well. Colin fucks her really hard, and she's like insistent that he's not gonna hurt her. Like just fuck me. It is fine. And then he like fucks her so she's at the edge of the bed, and then so that Evan can like fuck her mouth at the same time. And then Tuck talks the men into going in and out of her at the same time. So they're doing this. And as they're slowly getting ready to come, Evan is telling Colin, like, don't wait for me. But Colin wants to come with Evan. And then all of a sudden, they both pull out of Esme and they start jacking off together. And Colin wraps his arm around Evan's arm and they press their foreheads into each other. And then they both come all over Esme's body. And they come, well, Colin comes like buckets. Like, this man comes a lot. And then they slide off the bed and head to clean up. Tuck checks in with Esme to make sure she's okay. She's tired, but she does not want to stop. Bitch, I would stop because that sounds awful. Especially when she says that her pussy it feels weird. It's not sore, just overstimulated. That should be your sign. And she would really love another orgasm, but it's going to take something special to get her there. She came twice with Jude, but she couldn't come with Evan and Colin because she was just concentrating too hard on coordinating things. Tuck tells her to just sit there, relax. He is going to go talk with Spence, and that's what he does. He explains that she's good, little tired, little overstimulated, but she does want to keep going. That is her decision. She knows her limits, but he should warn him that he might have to push her to get her there. And what they talked about earlier might do the trick. Spence asks him what he told her, but Tuck says, I didn't have to tell her anything. Spence asks if there's anything else, and Tuck says, now that you mention it, I do have an idea. Esme is just laying on the bed relaxing, and Colin comes in, wet from a shower, and apologizes to her, saying that he is sorry for her not coming earlier. But Esme says, it's okay. You were really worked up, and it's mostly my fault anyways. I was so caught up watching you and Evan, and I forgot all about myself. He ends up cleaning her up, and then we get into a scene with Spencer and her. And here's the thing, I am not going to describe most of it because I had a very hard time with this scene because every other word out of their mouth is daddy. Every single thing. Just know.
Well, they're role playing.
Oh, I'm well aware as to the amount of daddy, little girl, and I get it. There was a shit ton of spanking, a shit ton of degradation, a shit ton of daddy, a shit ton of little girl, and I wanted to vomit the entire time. And just now, there you go. But towards the end of the scene, we have Spence fucking her in the ass, and then her husband fucking her as well, and we get a sandwich. And it was great. But there was an aggressive amount of daddy. There was so much. It was so much.
Was there
Angie would
so
have loved it.
much?
Angie would have loved it. After everything is done, the boys are like, so what do we do now? Which is a valid question, which I will not answer you right now because have you seen the videos about Jason Kelsey?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see his response
To the videos?
post throwing the phone?
I don't think so.
Did you hear what he said to the guy?
I think so.
So you know what the guy said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you
I've been seeing
know?
those for like a week, I think.
Did you know that he said, "Who's the faggot now?" Do you know that every single person has given Jason Kelsey a pass?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I would too, because first of all, you cannot come at this man who puts down 300-pound people and come
Hmm.
after his brother.
Say it in a tweet, it's a cop out. When you say
Bro,
it in the street, it's a knockout. And I'm just like,
literally.
bro,
Honestly,
hey, are you okay?
that dude is so lucky that Jason Kelsey did not fucking punch him. His wife, came after somebody not that long ago because they were like pissy because they wouldn't take pictures. And she's like, we're on a fucking date. Like, don't fuck with the Kelseys. Like,
Well,
leave them
they're not
alone.
public property.
No. Anyways, but nobody has any idea what to do post orgy, which is understandable because no one's done an orgy before. So no one has any idea. So, but they all make sure that Esme's okay. But Tuck tells them that, they're welcome to stay, hang out, watch TV, whatever. He's got to go take care of Esme to make sure everything's all good and all gravy. He tells Esme that the boys are all gonna hang out, play some cards. Esme's like, "Did you tell them that they can stay the night?" And Tuck's like, "No, I forgot." And she goes, "You are a terrible host." He's like, "I'm a great host."
I let
But
them fuck my wife.
I know, right? But they honestly they do check in on one another to make sure each other is okay with everything that happened, which is great. Make sure that if see if they had any bad moments, and neither one of them had any bad moments. They actually really enjoyed everything that happened. We learned that Spence actually stripped the entire bed and cleaned up everything, which is very sweet. And Tuck tells her that she can go to sleep and that he does not need to stay with her and he can go down and hang out with boys. Mostly she is very, very sore from, all of the spanking.
The poundings.
And yeah, so he makes his way downstairs after, they cuddle for like a little bit for half an hour and he takes a shower. Apparently, whatever game that the boys had been playing had reached a very critical point. He lets all of them know that she's asleep and tells everybody that they are welcome to crash there and that he will make breakfast in the morning. That he's going to make waffles. And they all decide where they're going to sleep. Jude calls dibs on the library sofa. No one wants to sleep in the guest room because it has bunk beds, which is hilarious, but it's very cute. Then we have an epilogue, which is a year later, and Tuck is coming into the kitchen, and Esme is shushing him, telling him he is asleep. He has been conked out for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes after you left, it is not a baby, by the way. I thought it was going to be a baby, and
Did you really?
I thought it was gonna be an orgy baby, and I was like, "Ooh, we have
And
an
I think
orgy
they did
baby."
on purpose, so I was like, it's a little
I
too
know,
obvious.
yeah. It's a dog. It's a 12-week-old puppy. Apparently, the puppy, by the way, ate the turkey. And it grabbed the turkey, dragged it into the yard. But they're hosting everybody for Thanksgiving this year, but it's not going to be a fuck fest this year. Everybody's kind of paired off, and it's just going to be a actual regular Thanksgiving, and that's it. By the way, so much fucking, just so much fucking, and that's it. Who was your favorite character?
Either Jude or Spence. Spence just kind of like sat back and like paid attention to everything, which I liked.
Liked that too.
Jude like was very kind of go with the flow. He already knew kind of what was up.
Agree. I kind of liked Spence a lot
Yeah.
because of the like he took care of the
Yeah.
bedding while
Yeah.
everyone was sleeping
And everyone just kind
and
of like
Like everyone
Yeah,
was kind of really
puts him
good with each
off
other.
as, but they kind of pushed him off as like, oh, he's just like this single, like, oh, flaky kind of like
Yeah.
motorcycle riding, and then he's like, I have layers. I'm like an
I'm
onion. He didn't say that, but
like an onion. This is not Shrek.
I know. But he
There
was
was no
going all
telling anyone to
he,
get out of our swamp, which
he
is a
was go
book, by the
he was
way.
going all he was going all donkey on us, all Shrek on
Yeah.
us.
Just because they all donkey at us. Yes.
Because he explains it to Donkey. Never mind.
Got you. Yeah, no, that was I liked him as well, so I agree. Who was your least favorite character? I feel like really wasn't anybody to pick for this. There wasn't really.
Spence's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend.
Oh, the lawyer lady. Yeah.
The lady who made him choose between his work and her.
Yeah, that's a lame thing to do. Solid sauce. So, Amazon gives us a 3.9, and Goodreads also gives us a 3.9.
Where did you sit?
I give it like a 3.5. It's
I
pretty
also gave it
decent.
a 3.5.
Nice. It was pretty good. It was exactly what it said it was going to be. So there wasn't any surprises. There was at least story within the erotica.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah,
I kind
there
of
was a little bit.
almost wanted a little bit more just in their little lives, but I'm
Yeah,
wondering if that's kind of why I downloaded the next one because I wanted to see if it
gotcha.
was
Yeah.
just more erotica
Yeah,
or if they actually
it
expanded.
looks like it's a 4 book series.
Yeah, filth.
Spence's book. I guess it must be Spence. I swear they put Spencer in there.
They did in the beginning,
Oh, okay.
but it was not very many times.
Yeah. Book 3 is his book, and book 4 is Jude's.
That's why I was like, I don't remember his name being Spencer, but I was like,
Yeah, I was like, I know I saw it in there. I was a little thrown
yeah,
off.
I think it was like talking in the very beginning.
There was like a couple things in there.
It was like only chapter one when they were talking in the very
Yeah.
beginning.
There was one thing I highlighted that bothered me, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, there were a couple weird nitpicky thingies, but nothing like the last one.
No, not at all. I'm trying to see what it was. Because it was just like one thing that really bothered. I don't remember what it was. Obviously, it didn't stand out that much if like
You
it
don't
was.
remember.
I'm trying to look through my
No, I,
highlights
I
that I
I
made.
was finishing your sentence. Obviously, it doesn't stand out that much if you don't remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cucumber.
Probably like 5 or 6. I wanted more. It was more like running a train instead of like
Yeah.
I
A
wanted
whole
everybody
gangbang.
to do
Yeah.
so many things.
And I wanted the boys to like actually get together.
I wanted the boys to bang. Yeah, I wanted the
Yeah.
boys to fuck. That would have
I'm gonna
been
give it
a
like a
lot.
4.5.
Okay. Not too bad though.
Survivability.
That would be great.
Me too.
My vagina would be completely wrecked though.
Eh, you don't really need it again until next year anyways, right?
I mean, I guess not.
The next Thanksgiving. Plenty of time to heal.
It's Thanksgiving. You know,
She
yeah.
bangs, she
Should
bangs.
bang.
I will not be
Yes.
having Thanksgiving.
No. It was like I thought they fucked up the names in one spot. I think that's what it yeah, that's what it was because I said wouldn't have been Evan, not Tuck. I wouldn't have been Tuck, not Evan. Because they were talking about I think it was supposed to be like Tuck was talking, but they put Evan's name in there instead of Tuck's name.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Tuck talking, not Evan talking. Because then even in like the next sentence, yeah, it was like because it said it's nice, Colin said, and his tone had Tuck pausing that you both want the same thing. I mean, yeah, but it didn't happen overnight, Evan said, watching Colin carefully. It took a lot of talking and a few fuck ups to get us here. No risk, no reward. It was Tuck. Because they were talking about
Their
Tuck
relationship.
allowing,
Yeah.
yeah, their relationship. Because in the previous sentence it said Tuck, so it just like fucked up. I think it was just because I mean, yes, they were talking about because he was supposed to be looking at Evan, kind of thing. So it was just like a kind of a weird. There was a lot of names, man. There was a lot of names in
Yeah.
this book.
Yeah.
I am disappointed that I didn't get to use my dolls.
I know.
I
That
was
would have been
looking forward to it.
nice.
I was
I
so looking
know.
forward to demonstrating.
And what's Thanksgiving without dolls? Here, I'm just. Oh, hi, how are you? You want to have a Thanksgiving? Okay, we bang, we bang. Oh, we need more for our Thanksgiving. Oh, wait, hold on. We bang, we bang, we bang. Oh, wait, we need more for our Thanksgiving. We're gonna go this way. We bang, we bang, we bang. Then we go like this, and we go like this, and we go like this. Oh, he's down. Giving. Ta-da! I'm okay.
I don't think you are. With that, we are about to
Moving on.
we are about to wrap up November, which is really kind of sad and exciting all at the same time. And so we are going to be wrapping up with me, and it is going to be called Tilly's Little Thanksgiving by R.J. Gray. We're ending one holiday and going into
We're
another.
saying so long, farewell to you, my friends. We'll see you next Thanksgiving next year.
And I promise Ariel will not bring that song next year.
No, I won't.
So yes, so next week we are reading Tilly's Little Thanksgiving by R.J. Gray. And here we go. On the run, after a late night rescue mission takes a terrible, violent turn, Tilly finds herself in the last place she'd ever expected, Rawhide Ranch, the exclusive BDSM resort where her best friend lives. Even more surprising for Tilly is the way Trey, head of security for the ranch, immediately takes her under his wing and over his knee. But despite Trey's sweet words and stern discipline, Tilly can't shake the feeling something horrible is coming. Can she trust Trey to keep them all safe, or will she lose her new family as suddenly as she found them? What do you have? What are
It's
oh, are
been
those
great
so we can pick?
to play and sing together on the podcast, but it's time to say goodbye.
You know that makes it sound like we're saying goodbye forever.
Yeah, I made the cardies.
So make sure to join us next week.
Yeah,
And make
and
sure to keep reading.
keep it smutty, bitch. Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.